Well, I have some very exciting information to share on spiritual awakenings and Kundalini awakenings. Very similar, but a little bit different. But I've had both of these types of experiences happen to me throughout my life, and they got me going down on a path of trying to figure out why do they happen and is there any scientific explanation? Because I am a science nerd and I like to know why. So when I first started looking into all of this, it was sparse. There was hardly anything out there. But in the last couple months, I have come across information that is, to me, it's freaking awesome because it just talks about like what are these things all about from a scientific basis. Let me share some things with you. First of all, a Gallup survey was conducted in 2002 that showed that 41% of adults identified with the statement, I have had a profound religious or awakening experience that changed my life. That gives me chills. 41% of people have had these types of experiences. And so that tells me we just, sometimes we just don't talk about them because they're so completely out of the ordinary and they really shift our perception of what the world is all about and then also what's possible for us as human beings, what types of states of peace and love and acceptance and expansiveness and possibly even oneness that we can experience. So anyway, that first of all was very exciting to me because that is around 80 million American adults. That's a lot of people. Also, one of the articles, which I'll share in the notes below, talks about, what are some of the common things that people have experienced with these types of things. And they are peace, bliss, ecstasy, feelings of aliveness, awe, sacredness, gratitude, reverence, and an abundant unconditional love. So we have the capacity of that as humans. It's just a matter of getting our minds out of the way, right? So, then you ask it like, what's the difference between a spiritual awakening experience and a Kundalini experience? Kundalini experience, people tended to feel energy moving through their bodies. And Kundalini experiences have been documented all the way back from the 5th and 6th century AD and written about in the yogic traditions. The yogic traditions, of course, have their own perspective of what that's really all about. And of course, now we're able to research some of these energies that are moving in the body and to find out what do they actually do. And that brings me to the next topic, which I'm so excited to see. So one of the things I learned from myself was when I, let's say, delved into playing my music or was writing music or when I'm dancing, I would enter into these states where I felt like I remembered who I was, or actually I could say I remember who I am because it still happens. And for different people, it's different. For some people, they really get in the zone writing. Some people get in the zone even when they're like creating these amazing knitted sweaters that some people come up with. Some people get there with cooking, skiing, surfing. It's just a matter of what aligns with that inner passion. And I found when I got into those states myself that I felt like my body was automatically being healed and that my mind was being healed. And, I wondered about this for years. I said to myself, what is going on here? It's like, you bring yourself in alignment with your soul, you tap into this mystical space through these experiences, and then there's a shift. What's happening here? And then I found out this is very exciting. I had heard about the flow state and the research that is being done by the Research Flow Collective. And I recently found a podcast and an article that somebody had written about the connection between flow state and mysticism. And it describes exactly what I was talking about, precisely. And also how those states of being, those states of flow and mysticism, when you get into them, they can bring about a term that some people use is moments of enlightenment, because you suddenly feel how the universe is working in unison with you, with everything. And there's this amazing feeling of oneness and peace. And those moments of enlightenment can be expanded over time. So just fascinating that we can now actually take a look at this in a pragmatic, scientific way. So the field that is emerged through this is called neurotheology, and one of the main researchers is Dr. Andrew Newberg. There is a podcast by the Research Flow Collective. I'll also put that in the comments here that talks about this as well. So to me, it's phenomenal that we are starting to be able to connect the dots, to understand that having these spiritual awakening experiences spontaneously happens to so many people, and that there are also methods to get to those states of being, without a religious practice, but with disciplined practices, either towards flow state, with meditation. There are various different ways of getting there to awaken that state, because it's naturally wired into our bodies, which is so phenomenal to me that this is all starting to come to the forefront, and we're really seeing this as possibilities for ourselves, and we are starting to understand, let's call it, the formulas and the disciplines required to get there, because it's so worth it, to actually integrate these things and to continue the disciplines that are required to stay connected. I mean, it's not easy. Of course it's not, because we have our human minds, which talk a lot. But to me, this is very exciting to see the advances that we're making. And I just wanted to share that information with you today.